kid, it's white flags. Not on my level where I stand. Got it, I'm shooting a hot hand. Out of the gym, I was locked out. I failed, the kid was a dropout. I changed the game and it's up now. The city that need me is clear now. The people is giving the damage. The people is giving the...
Sandman, I can tap dance through the energy blast. Run flat, never pop your orbit. I keep energy in storage. I see spinning the globe, my fingertip itch. If I could pluck the earthquake hit. Look at the wrist, look at your body, I shake it and shift. Big fish in a small pond, Godzilla with a boot on. I step into your lawn, turn skyscrapers into croutons. Hit the button going high speed, need a megaphone to announce me. I move through the pygmies and the top pick, gotta pick fleas. Sit back, better breathe deep. Look around and they looking at me. 10 toes still never defeat. Push button never needed a key. I see they ain't ready for me. Hot boy still 100 degrees. I cross eyes and I dotted the T's. E&D till I leave in peace.
The people is giving the damage. The people is giving the... The people is giving the damage. The people is giving the...
I give it all that I got will never stop. I give it all, straight to the top, will never stop. I give it all that I have, I let it be, cause nobody's better than me. What do you see? Give it all. Yeah, all that I got, I give it everything. They lost the plot, they think I'm menacing. They wanna talk, but I ain't settling. Circle is tight.
First Federal Community Bank is excited to offer the Ohio Home Buyers Plus program, and it's meant to offer an above market interest rate to help the potential home buyer in their journey towards home ownership.
We've got great rates, especially for first-time home buyers. Here at First Federal Community Bank, we are here to make the home buying experience smooth and stress-free.
As a community bank, we're excited to offer this account to help fulfill the dream of owning a home. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
streak they had, and so they're just playing really well on both sides of the ball. But Ottawa-Glandorf just plays in that Western Buckeye League. Really good football there.
There's a lot of good teams in that league too, Tim.
Yeah, I mean, a familiar face coaching at the team that's winning that league, that won the league, Wapakoneta. As Travis Moyer coaches there, they went 10-0 again. And it seems he's had a lot of 10-0 years between Wynford and now Wapakoneta. And they're one of the top seeds in their division. And but they also, Defiance, who they lost to last week in a pretty close game, has had a really good year. And so it's a very good football team. But you're right, they want to run the ball. Grant Evers went over 1,000 yards in the regular season. And they would prefer, their coach, Ken Schreiner, has been there for, ever since Moses parted the Red Sea, probably. And
did you have that on your bingo card tonight,
yeah,
Moses?
Yeah. So he's won well over 200 games, and it's 203 games. He's lost 121. So he's been there for over 300 games. So has had a lot of success, but they did have 2 down years, 22 and 23. Won 1 game and 2 games in those 2 years, but have come back. And now 5-5 made the playoffs, and it's a pretty comfortable spot for them, a pretty regular spot for them. And
they have won 2 out of their last 3 games too, Tim. So
yeah,
they also come in with momentum, just like Galion. One guy to look out for is Grant Evers there, Tim, and their leading rusher. Over 100 yards a game, over 1,000 yards on the season. Limited touchdowns, though, Tim, but still a pretty hefty running back here for Ottawa-Glandorf.
Yeah, he's 6 foot, 200 pounds, and he wants to be the workhorse. And again, I read some things about the preseason stuff for OG that came out, and all he talked about was reestablishing the run. And in talking to Coach Dick, exactly what he said is, we have to shut down the run and make them have to defend on the passing game. They got a veteran quarterback in Peyton Coleman. This is his 3rd year as a starter. He's a big kid, 6'4", but he's just barely completing over 50% of his passes, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And he's throwing 7 or 8 interceptions this year, so he will turn it over. And if Galion can get him to throw the ball away, if they can pressure him and get him to turn it over, obviously that'll be one of the real keys to this game is getting extra possessions for the Tigers, because they have really done a good job in these since they made the quarterback change of just scoring a lot of points and taking advantage of big plays by their defense.
Yeah, you mentioned it, 48% completion rate there for him. I mean, and Galion, on the other hand, are they going to have to throw the football tonight? We know they like to run, especially with Braxton Stuckman, and you mentioned it with Aiden Schmidt. Are they going to have to empty the bag a little bit tonight and throw the football?
Well, I'm sure Coach Dick's going to do whatever they have to do to try to win the game. But same thing as OG, he would rather run the football. With especially with Stuckman and with Aiden Schmidt. Aiden Schmidt, the last time we had him against River Valley, he probably averaged like 17 or 18 yards a carry.
Mm-hmm. And he's our player spotlight here tonight. The junior Aiden Schmidt in his last 3 games have been tremendous, as you said, as he stepped up in favor of Braxton Prosser there at the quarterback position.
Yeah, and what he showed in the River Valley game is not only can he do it with his legs, they're not going to throw it a lot with him, but
you saw him throw it over the top.
He threw it over the top and threw the ball a lot better deep than we both thought he could. And but he's just one of those kids. He's not particularly big. He's got some good wheels, but he just seems to be a winner.
Winner, and speaking of winner, and the winner of tonight's game between Galion and Ottawa-Glandorf will face probably a familiar foe who is at the top of the region in Shelby. So that's not going to do anyone any favors there, Tim, as we already know how Shelby is. Well, but you're not playing for next week, right?
Exactly.
You're playing for this week. And you can worry about that on Monday. And, of course, Coach Dick's not going to worry about it on Monday. He'll worry about it tomorrow.
Coach Dick's going to worry about midnight tonight.
Yeah, and he'll celebrate this one for about an hour, right?
Yeah.
And then get it going. So, and that's the thing. You're in the playoffs now. Does the bag get emptied?
Oh, there ain't no doubt. He's going to do whatever he can. And, one of the keys that was up there for the game was, with Galion with their special teams. And they just always seem to make plays with the special teams, whether it's, in the kicking game, and they have a nice kicker against River Valley. They had a very creative fake punt, and which really turned the game around.
We saw that kind of coming, though, and River Valley almost didn't expect it, seemed like.
Yeah, and, that kind of turned the game around. They do a lot of things. They block a lot of kicks. We've had them in games throughout the last 3 or 4 years where they've blocked kicks. They had the Terrell kid last year who seemed to block a kick every time we turned around or did one of their games. He was blocking a kick. So the special teams could be a big part of this thing tonight.
All right, keys to the game, Tim, and I have a couple here. And I know you talked about it before we went on air, but go ahead. And specifically here for Galion, I have special teams and limit the mistakes.
Well, I think with the special teams, I just talked about a little bit. But, at some point, we very well may see a fake kick. At some point, we'll probably see an onside kick. At some time, we very well may see a blocked kick, because they do all of those things on a regular basis. And by them, I mean Galion. And so I'm sure the nice thing is when you do all those things, that just gave Ottawa-Glandorf more stuff to prepare for, where you got to say, okay, we got to get ready offensively and defensively, but you have to really get ready for this team on special teams. And then limit mistakes. They played a really clean game the other night against River Valley. When we had them, and I think that's what they have to do. And that's what the keys, I think, in any playoff game are, that you really need to work on, just limiting your mistakes. Don't turn the ball over. Don't get a bunch of penalties, and especially at key times.
All right, now conversely for the Titans, who are 5-5, their keys here to win tonight: take care of the football and stop the explosive plays. We've seen Galion have multiple explosive plays over the past few weeks. And you mentioned it with Coleman, the quarterback. Take care of the football. Yeah,
he has a tendency, especially versus pressure, to turn it over. But, they got to stop the explosive plays. Aiden Schmidt has had, it seems like, a big play in every game, whether it's been a long pass, whether it's been a long run. He's had one in each of the last 3 games that he started. And then even the game he started, first game of the season, when he started, was in for one series, he had a long run. So he does that every game. And then, the one guy we haven't mentioned for Galion is Jacob Chambers. And he seems to have a big play just about every game. He has great speed. And then since getting moved out of the quarterback spot, Braxton Prosser has had some big plays. So
that just adds an extra weapon. And I mentioned emptying the bag, Tim. They could get Prosser involved in the passing game if they truly want to.
Oh, no doubt about it. And they like to run some jet sweeps and with him, and so that's something I would look forward to seeing tonight, is a lot of jet sweeps, trying to use their speed, because especially their front guys defensively, Ottawa-Glandorf very big, has great size, and so obviously the way to beat great size is to have great speed, and Galion certainly has that.
All right. Well, we're along for the ride, Tim.
Oh yeah.
And we've seen Galion a couple different times. They had a little rough stretch in the middle of the season. Of course, they played Ontario and Shelby within that rough stretch, but they've turned it around over the last 3 games, and I think they're ready for tonight.
Well, it's like you said, the Ontario and Shelby, those are 2 great football teams. So I think Galion thought they could compete a little better in both of those games, and in both games they did for about a half. Maybe the Ontario game a little more than a half, but the loss that really stung for them was at Highland when they got beat by Highland.
And they were in that three-game stretch there.
Yeah, and that was a game I think they expected to win, and it was after that game where Coach Dick decided to make the change. But, a key right here. Let's see what they're going to do. Will they do something different with this opening kickoff?
All right. Ethan Metzger, along with Dan Dooling, back to return. Or excuse me, not Dan Dooling. Asher Rump back to return the kick here for the Titans. And set to kick off. Here for Galion is Alan Carver.
Carver's kind of different on these kickoffs, Jared. It'll be interesting to see if he goes deep or tries to put it in between some people.
Going to be taken by Metzger up the right side and tries to shimmy his way to the 25, and the pile pushes him forward to the 25, and that's where Ottawa-Glandorf will start out on offense here tonight.
Well, Ottawa-Glandorf is a spread team, but, again, one of those spread teams that primarily they would love to be able to run the football out of it, especially, as you said, in the pregame with Grant Evers. So let's see what they're, you also got Ken Schreiner, who's been around here for a long time. So let's see what kind of tricks he may have in his bag.
Peyton Kuhlman, the quarterback, he's in the gun. He'll have Evers immediately to his left. He'll hand it to him off the right tackle, working his way up to the 29, and that's where he'll be spun down at the 29-yard line. So he'll pick up a 4 yards there on the first play. And Kuhlman does average over 4 yards a carry, Tim.
Yeah, he's a guy that'll run. I'm not sure you describe him as a willing runner, but he's an effective runner.
Over 1,000 yards on the season for Evers. They'll send Noah Horstman out wide to the left, and then we'll have a flag here, and it looks like it's going to go against Galion.
Yeah, they jumped while all the shifting was going around. Galion jumped, and now gives them, all in a way, almost a free play now.
Just the tackle, or the tackle there. Jumping, and we talked about, just limiting your mistakes as well, Tim, and that includes penalties. And they were penalty-free for the most part against River Valley. Well, Titans send 2 to the left here, 1 wide to the right. Again, the little mix-up on the handoff, but I believe they're going to go right at the line of scrimmage. They'll be tripped up right there.
So Vinny Brinkman carried the ball for no gain, but Galion almost jumped again. I'm sure all the defensive, especially the defensive line coach, but all the defensive coaches are yelling for the kids to just watch the football. A lot of shifting, a lot of movement in the OG offense right now, and Galion just got to settle down, watch the football, and make plays.
Looks like Brickman might be the lead blocker here. Almost jumped again, and they did.
They did.
Tim, that's almost 3 straight times, 2 out of 3, and it's going to be an automatic first down.
Yeah, and that's what we mean about limiting mistakes. You can be so jacked up and so, emotional right now, ready to go, and they're going to make a change on the defensive line and try to settle this young man down. And
yep, that will be Camden Kuhlman. He had a big game.
Yeah.
Against River Valley, and now he'll sub out, and just a little overhyped, as Tim mentioned. Yeah. And it's, it's your playoff game. You're playing for everything here tonight. Season on the line, and this time they'll get across the 40. And that time, again, it was Brinkman, the senior running back, standing at 6'2", 210, and he maybe only got a yard there, Tim.
Yeah, they're just kind of running from one side to the other, running their power-off tackle stuff right now. And Galion is doing a good job of stopping the run. They just got to stay on sides. And so let's see if they can get OG into an obvious passing down, and that's what they've talked about in pregame that they really want to be able to do.
Tight formation here. Evers, they'll fake the handoff to him. Coleman lobs it out to the right, and it's incomplete, intended for Deegan Miller, the sophomore wide receiver. And out of his outstretched hands and incomplete.
It just ran a bench route and out route, and Coleman was a little wide. And again, had a guy in his face, and I know that's what Galion said they wanted to do, that he's pretty accurate when he can sit back there and have plenty of time, but when you pressure him, he'll have a tendency to overthrow the ball. We'll
see if Galion brings pressure now here on 3rd and 9 from their own 41-yard line. In the gun, here is Coleman. 4-step drop, screen pass set up, wide receiver screen, and making the catch, but being cut down near the line to gain was Dan Dooling as he cut up field in a hurry off the screen pass. And we'll see what Ottawa-Glandorf decides to do here on 4th and 2. From the 47-yard line, and it looks like they're bringing out the punt unit.
Well, they just ran, what people call it a knife screen, a jailbreak screen, whatever it is. He had a little room, but Galion didn't bring anybody. They didn't bring pressure, so they had plenty of guys back there to make the stop.
Coleman will punt it away as he is also the punter. And this is a beautiful punt inside the 5. Is it going to be downed? And I think it got into the end zone.
No, he's marking it inside.
He's marking it down at the 1.
Whoa.
Beautiful punt by Peyton Coleman.
Well, Galion didn't have anyone deep because, it's with 4th and 2, and the quarterback back there to punt, they had to they put their regular defense out on the field and wanted to make sure that, he punted the ball, and boy, did he.
I think it was Mason Trombley that got back there to recover that.
They almost waited too long to down it.
It was Evan Brady, defensive lineman, getting down there and making the stop. Schmidt, well, they'll hand it off, and stumbling to the 5, I believe it was Stuckman on the carry. And it was Braxton Stuckman.
So a nice runoff tackle. When you're backed up inside the 1, you want to make sure at least you get it out of the end zone. And they did a nice job picking up about 4.5 yards and giving them a little room now to operate.
2nd down and 6. They'll send a man in motion, and they'll run the jet sweep. I believe this is Prosser. Cuts it back inside across the 10, and then buries his way to the 12. And no, that was actually Jacob Chambers. So that'll be a 1st down here for the Tigers. 7:48 to play, first quarter. Galion's first possession of the game. They forced a punt for Ottawa-Glandorf. They were able to down it inside the 1-yard line. This time Prosser goes in motion. They'll fake the handoff to him, and Schmidt takes it himself across the 15. Spun down at the 17 is Aiden Schmidt. Gain of 5 there for Aiden Schmidt.
Well, it looks like Galion really wants to run the jet sweep or run other things. This is a counter. This was a called keeper for the quarterback. They pulled the guard and the tackle from the other side.
He did a nice job of going straight ahead, north and south. Didn't try to bounce it outside where he could have been tackled at the line. This time Stuckman, he'll be tackled at the line, though, as he's grabbed by the legs and taken down by Jaden Steck-Schulte. You didn't think I could get that one, did you?
Actually lost a yard on that one.
3rd and 6.
Good penetration by Steck-Schulte.
From their own 16-yard line with 6:40 to play here in the opening quarter. Big 3rd down here.
Believe it or not, Jared, Steck-Schulte in Western Ohio is a common name.
Yeah, my wife teaches with a Steck-Schulte. So that's the only... I said, you teach with someone with that last name, don't you? As Galion takes a timeout. I said, you teach with somebody with that last name. How do you pronounce it?
Always good to have an assist.
And he is from Minster, so... Western Ohio, right?
You betcha.
But 3rd and 6, 6:24 to play here in the opening quarter. Galion takes the timeout, Tim. Yeah, as you see here on the OH.Report, just the start of the drive from the 1-yard line, Tim, and now they've gotten it out to the 16.
The first thing was the key was that jet sweep to get the first down. And now they really could use getting this another couple, 2 or 3 more first downs to try to flip the field a little bit. You know, and really, if they're going to have to punt it and put their defense back out on the field, maybe get OG a little bit deeper, and then avoid the penalties, and they should be fine.
So a 3rd and 6. Nobody out here.
Yeah, they got
on the right side.
Yeah, that slot receiver's got a lot of room.
He'll run the out route, looking up top, and intercepted.
Oh, it's picked.
There is a flag, but it's picked off by Vinny Brinkman, and we'll see what the flag is here. Is there a hold,
a hold
Tim?
on OG. He pointed at Ottawa-Glandorf, so there was a hold in the secondary.
And I thought originally that Alan Carver was being held on the back end there up top, and that's where Aiden Schmidt was trying to go.
So that'll get Galion another first down. So a big break for the Galion Tigers. And here we're going to have a replay over on the OH.Report. And you can't see over on the back side. Yeah, there it is.
I think he was held right before that, by Gage Bellman.
Yeah, he was trying to get to the inside to run a curl route, and he just held him so he couldn't go inside.
2 to the right. They'll run the sweep again this time.
Boy, they had a lot of room, too.
And it will be a false start here against the Tigers.
Yeah, they had 2 guys going and moving at the same time. And a real shame because Galion had a lot of room.
So first and 15 now from their own 21.
As I said, because of the 3 down guys for OG, the one is actually kind of smallish, number 65. He's only 5'11" and about 2 1/4, but the nose and the other tackle are really big, so a lot of jet sweeps trying to get Galion outside.
They won't run a jet sweep. They'll feed it to Stuckman instead, and he's pushed back, maybe gains a yard to the 23. They'll actually give him 2 yards to the 23, 3rd down and 13.
Galion's probably going to have to put the ball up here again after they try to run that power off tackle. Galion did a good job of getting some penetration with their down guys and keeping it to a minimal gain.
2nd down and 13, and the out route catch is made at the 32. And it was Landon Prosser on the catch, and now it's 3rd down and 5. Have to get to the 36-yard line.
A real smart play there by Aiden Schmidt. They ran a little stop route. He got it out quickly, 8-yard gain. If he'd have thrown it a little higher, they might have been able to get the first down.
3rd and 5 instead. Slings it on the outside, incomplete.
Oh.
Broken up by Dan Dooling. That was Jordan Shoemaker on the coverage.
Thought he might have had his back hand wrapped around his back. Well, let's take a look on the replay from the OH.Report. And yeah, he kind of got his back hand wrapped around his back and then tried to knock it down with his other hand. But they decided to let that one go. As long as it's consistent, we're good.
4th and 4. Galion set the punt, and it is a spiraling punt. And fair catch made, and he muffed it. And it looked like he fell right back on top of it. There is a flag. I'm guessing a sideline warning here initially. But Ottawa-Glandorf will recover the muffed punt. Yeah, just dropped it.
No, he's gone holding on Ottawa-Glandorf. But my experience in the playoffs, Jared, that was probably a good call, guess that it might have been a sideline warning. It's been my experience in the playoffs. They call those pretty quick.
I'd say the flag came out right down here. I'm like, there's nobody in the area.
But yeah, the punt was dropped, and boy, he did a good job of getting it recovered. And but now OG pretty deep, back on their own 13-yard line. See if the Galion defense can keep them in the hole down here.
1st and 10 from their own 13. As Tim mentioned, Coleman takes the snap, fakes the handoff to Evers, swings it out wide. This is a screen, set up, spin move on the outside, breaking loose, down the sideline, across the 30-yard line, and finally tracked down from behind was Ethan Metzger, the senior, picking up the first down to the 32-yard line. And Ottawa-Glandorf, you said, Tim, you give him time, but there's really no time to make pressure on a screen pass, and Galion has to adjust.
No, he got it out real quick, did a really nice job. Gets an 18-yard gain in their first down, or second first down. And, Metzger did a great job of breaking that tackle, and it was off to the races.
They will split Nolan Horseman out wide, fake the handoff again, and swings it out wide and incomplete, intended for Deacon Miller, but a risky pass there, and it's broken up. I believe that was Braxton Prosser running across the face there of Deacon Miller, and if he picks that one off, Tim,
he's
probably lucky in the end zone.
Yeah, luckily Coleman threw it a little higher than that Prosser could reach, because Prosser undercut the route, and he had nothing but green grass in front of him, that's for sure.
So 2nd down and 10 from their own 32. Coleman feeds it. Evers off the right side, stays patient behind the line, skips his way across the 35. And he's cut down at the 36.
Well, Galion's done a pretty good job of shutting down the run game so far, and if they can continue to do that, they should be in pretty good shape.
We'll bring up a 3rd and 6 from their own 36-yard line here for the Titans. They'll bunch it up and now send trips to the left. Coleman rolls that way, looks across the middle, fires a strike, and it might have been picked off. And it is. Galion with the interception. Jacob Chambers on the interception, and Galion is in business.
Well, what it does, it really flips the field from, the last possession they started at like the 1 foot line, and now they're at the 45 in good shape, and they got a little bit of pressure on Coleman, and then Chambers just again did a very good job of undercutting that route, and it was underthrown by Coleman, and the diving interception by Jacob Chambers.
Chambers wide to the right. Trey Longwell wide to the left. Schmidt, quarterback keeper, off the left side, finds some space. Here comes a couple flags as well, as he picked up the first down to the 35. But I think this one's coming back.
Well, it's in the area where you'd think maybe one of their wide receivers was holding.
.325 left here in the opening quarter. Still scoreless, Tim. But both teams have only had, now on their second possession.
Well, the problem for Galion right now is that's their 4th penalty already for 25 yards. And so that now they're behind the sticks a little bit, back to 1st and 14.
Alan Carver wide to the left. Here's Chambers set up in the slot. It'll be Stuckman to the right, and we'll have a timeout. Let's go ahead and take one as well. 3:23 left here in the first quarter. Galion and Ottawa-Glandorf scoreless. You're listening to WBCO along with watching on the OH.Report.
First Federal Community Bank is excited to be entering its 2nd year of media sponsorship for local nonprofits.
We've partnered with Crawford County now to offer nonprofits a podcast and a radio spot.
First Federal Community Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
systems, including fire extinguisher sales and service, Winks, Lock and Safe, and A&E Fire Safety and Service.
Braxton Stuckman on the carry, continues to pull the pile forward across the 40-yard line to the 37. And a much more manageable third down now.
Well, he broke like 3 or 4 tackles, and then the scrum happened.
Actually, this is second down.
It's still the rule I'm not really sold on of pulling the runner, pushing the runner,
The tush push.
I just think it makes it really tough on the officials of when to blow the whistle.
Again, Stuckman with a head full of steam, bounces it outside to the right hash, gets to the 35 near the marker. He might be just shy by inches, Tim.
Yeah, he needed 3, and he got about
2 1/4.
2 1/4 or even more. Yeah, but he's inside of a yard is all he needs. So, and I'm sure this is 4-down territory if they get stuffed on this somehow.
He'll be to the right here of Schmidt. They're going to throw here on 3rd and short across the middle, up for grabs.
I think it's picked.
And no, incomplete. Jordan Shoemaker back there had it fall through his hands. That should have been picked off.
Oh, there's no doubt. Aiden Schmidt decided to throw into double coverage. I mean, it's a good.
I think that was more like triple
gamble,
coverage.
But yeah, it was only a 2-man route, and in Schmidt's head, it was a 1-man route because Chambers was the only one he was going to.
Now we'll see if they go to the ground here on 4th and inches.
I would think yes.
Carver split out wide to the left. Stuckman takes it, bounces it outside, and he trips up and he fell down. And also back there was Vinny Brinkman on the tackle, and it will be a turnover on downs.
Well, their linebacker just came back. Brinkman came through untouched on the blitz. As you'll see on the replay again, no one touched him. They got good penetration from the 1-down lineman, and then Brinkman finished it off.
I think he actually tripped over his own offensive lineman who was pushed back, Tim.
Exactly.
Brinkman gets the tackle for loss. Ottawa-Glandorf with the momentum. They'll fake the handoff, looking to throw across the middle, and it's caught here by Dooling, who works his way up the right side across midfield, and he'll be pushed out of bounds. Looks like at the 48-yard line. So a first down for the Titans with 1:41 to go here in the first quarter.
Yeah, they just rolled out a little bit, ran a kind of a flood route. He decided to check down to the short guy, and Dooling did the rest. 15-yard gain and another first down for OG.
Into Galion territory for the first time tonight. Coleman with Brinkman to his left, and they'll give it to him, and the flag comes in, and Galion there to stuff this play immediately. Brinkman with that was Evers again, with no room to run.
Well, let's see if they take the penalty or take the down.
There was no gain on the play.
One of their
plenty
guys.
of flags tonight, Tim, here in the first round of the playoffs.
Yes, it has been. And they'll take the penalty and go to 1st and 15. One of their wide receivers must have lined up offsides because they didn't call it motion; they called it offsides.
Couple of substitutions here for the Titans. And they'll get to the line here. 20 seconds on the play clock. It'll be Deegan Miller set up wide to the right. They'll swing it out left here to Metzger, who's hit immediately but slipping out of a tackle. And he's loose down the sideline. Metzger with the speed inside the 30, finally tracked down and shoved out of bounds. Jacob Chambers, the all-state track athlete, able to track him down with the speed, but Metzger down the sideline in a huge play for the Titans. He slipped out of the initial tackle and he was able to get down the sideline, and the only thing between him and the end zone was Jacob Chambers.
Well, he did a really good job of snuffing out the play and just missed the tackle. The problem was the safety was coming up, or the corner was coming up to make the tackle, ran in front of the linebacker, and boy, there was no one behind him.
Coleman, quarterback keeper, straight up the middle, gets to the 15 and dives forward close to the 10. About an 8-yard gain, Tim, and 2nd down and 2. And now Ottawa-Glandorf, you can see it, they're kind of forcing the issue here. A little tempo, as you could say, with 56 seconds left here in the first quarter.
Well, they're just getting a really good rhythm into their offense, and being able to mix it up with both the pass and the run. This time they run it with their quarterback on 1st down for an 8-yard gain. First time he's carried the ball. And, they're just doing some really nice stuff offensively right now to the Galion defense.
Coleman again. This time picks up the 1st down inside the 10. Still up on his feet, and they'll mark him down with forward progress at the 12-yard line. And 23 seconds left here in the first quarter. But a 1st and goal here for the Titans from the 6. And we'll see if the Titans take this to the end of the first quarter. I believe they will. We're used to them being a basketball school, Tim.
Yeah, they've been pretty good the last 4 years, but
tonight.
But their guy is not playing out here.
Colin White. I'd say Colin White's not out there right now. We've seen him a few times against Colonel Crawford.
Yeah, he's playing down in Columbus right now.
It'll be Ottawa-Glandorf 1st and goal, as that takes us to the end of the first quarter. We are scoreless here. We played 1. You're listening to high school football here on WBCO, along with watching on the OH.Report.
First Federal Community Bank is excited to be entering its 2nd year of media sponsorship for local nonprofits.
We've partnered with Crawford County Now to offer nonprofits a podcast and a radio spot.
First Federal Community Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Coleman, the keeper, bounces it outside and into the end zone. Ottawa-Glandorf takes the lead on the first play in the second quarter. And it was Peyton Coleman on the keeper.
Yeah, they just, again, same play they've been running, over and over, like a quarterback draw. But it's really kind of a quarterback power. He steps back. He takes a step back like he's going to pass, but they pull a guy, their one guard around, who leads him up into the hole, and been very effective.
So they'll kick the extra point. It is up and through. 7-0. Ottawa-Glandorf. Galion football here coming up. 11:56 to play in the second quarter. We'll see if they have an answer here on WBCO and the OH.Report.
First Federal Community Bank is excited to be entering its 2nd year of media sponsorship for local nonprofits.
We've partnered with Crawford County Now to offer nonprofits a podcast and a radio spot.
First Federal Community Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Report. Grant Evers to kick off here for Ottawa-Glandorf. Chambers back deep to receive here for the Tigers. They'll squib it and keep it away, but it will be fielded at the 20-yard line, and cutting and working his way back to the left, breaking the initial tackle, but then sliding down at the 29 was Braxton Prosser. And Galion will take over. 1st and 10 from their own 29-yard line.
Well, Galion's just got to start doing being a little more effective running the ball. I look for him to run a few more jet sweeps.
I'd say they had the initial success on that first drive, Tim, with the jet sweep. The penalty kind of pushed them back a little bit on the holding penalty where they had picked up the first down previously. Then they kind of tried to get cute, Tim, and throw it long, which, could work on 3rd and inches. But then Ottawa-Glandorf knew what to expect, and this time Schmidt spins out of a tackle across the 30, and then he gets to the 32 before he's taken down.
Well, yeah, I mean, they're 3rd less than a yard, so I can see the reason why you run a play action pass and try to throw it deep. But OG did a great job of covering it. The problem was then they
knew the run play was coming next, and
so
snuffed it out.
They just didn't hit it quick enough, and penetration by OG and shut it down. But there they tried to run off of the jet sweep, so maybe this time they may run it and hand it off.
And they will run it, and there will be a flag. Chambers was set to make a move, and that's another penalty here for Galion.
Again, I think their timing's just off a little bit when they're running a jet sweep, because they're moving a guy and then they're setting the guy in motion, and the guy that moves has to be set for a full second before they snap the ball, and I think they might be snapping the ball too soon.
Saying almost Chambers has to maybe not move as quickly. Yeah. They'll roll out to the right this time with trips to the right. And making the catch, cutting upfield to the 35 was Prosser as he makes the catch and turns upfield to the 35. And it'll bring up 3rd down and 5.
Well, just a nice rollout pass. He's able to hit Braxton Prosser get 10 of the yards back. So now they're in business, with a very makeable 3rd and 5. Maybe want to just run the same thing, rolling out this way, and try to hit him out in the flat.
4 wide receiver set, jet sweep set up. Working his way towards the left and getting across the 35 is Chambers, pushing his way to the 38. And I think he's going to be about a yard shy. It was actually Landon Prosser on the carry. Tim, I don't know about you, but I can't see these numbers at all.
It's kind of tough, that's for sure.
You got a guardian cap.
Yeah, we do have a guardian cap. That's the first time we've seen that in high school football this year. Tim, they're set up here at 4th and 1 to go for it. We'll see if there's a hard count. And another flag.
And it's on Galion. Galion's just shooting himself in the foot constantly here. So now they got to punt it.
Do they?
Yep. Well, we'll see.
Here on 4th and 6 from their own 34.
I don't know. This would be a tough spot to run one, but all year they haven't been afraid to fake a kick. Yeah, he's going to punt.
And he is going to punt it. Back to the 30. And Evers just walks away as it's rolled to the 25. And that's where Ottawa-Glandorf will take over. With 9:21 left here in the first half, and Galion, Tim, we've talked about it. It's just the penalties that have gotten to them and stalled their drives.
Well, they've had 6 penalties already, and 5 out of the 6 have all been either jumping offside or procedure. So they're all dead ball penalties that shouldn't happen. Evers
to the right here of Coleman. And I think we're going to have a timeout by Ottawa-Glandorf. Let's go ahead and step aside with 9:15 to play here in the first half. It is OG 7, Galion nothing. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
First Federal Community Bank is excited to be entering its second year of media sponsorship for local nonprofits.
We've partnered with Crawford County Now to offer nonprofits a podcast and a radio spot.
First Federal Community Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
On WBCO and the OH.Report. 1st and 10, OG. Evers takes it off the left tackle, and he'll be stopped right around the line of scrimmage.
Well, they've done a good job on Evers all night.
So they bottled him up real nicely here tonight.
Yeah, he's not been the one hurting him. At the last drive, it was all pretty much Peyton Coleman throwing and running, and he gained most of the yards. He gained 20 yards on 3 carries and threw the ball for 41 yards.
We'll see if they go back to that, Tim, here on 2nd down and 10. Evers will be to the right here of Coolman.
Well, if they're going to throw it, they got to just put some pressure on it. He's nowhere near as accurate when he feels the heat.
A little mix-up on the handoff. It goes to Evers anyway. He bounces it outside down the sideline, and he's shoved out of bounds. Did he get enough for the first down? I think he did. To the 35. And, you know, it was a bobbled snap, but it actually landed right into the hands of Evers, basically to perfection, Tim. And he was able to just keep going.
Yeah, that's when you know you're having a good night. You know, he was bobbling it around, but he was still able to get it to him, and he got around the corner. That's first time. That's by far the most room he's had to run all night.
He'll be set up to the left here of Coolman. 2 wide receivers wide to the right. Brinkman in motion towards the right side of the line. He'll be the lead blocker here, and Evers stuffed right at the line of scrimmage. He falls forward. But it was Camden Coolman on the tackle. First time we've seen 2 Coolmans. They're both spelled differently. Camden Coolman has an E in front of his. 2nd down and 10 here for the Titans from their own 35. There's movement. Yeah, I'd say you got to call that.
Motion.
And say Deegan Miller jumped about 2 seconds before the snap. And it will be a false start here against Ottawa-Glandorf and push them back to 2nd down and 15 now from their own 30.
I'm not sure he snapped the ball in the right cut because the quarterback was moving too.
Yeah, go ahead and show it there, Adam Thompson.
Because you can see the quarterback starts moving backwards.
Yeah, I think the center.
Either he didn't. It seemed like most of the line was moving.
4 wide here for the Titans. Galion almost jumps. They fake the handoff. They run the reverse here with Deegan Miller up the left side. Not a lot of room, but he's tripped up at the 35, so a gain of 6 there for Miller. And Galion kind of snuffed that one out, stayed at home. He was able to cut it back inside for a few yards, but not the big gain that the Titans were expecting.
Now, big down for the Tiger defense right now.
Facing a 3rd and 10 from their own 35 with 7:20 left here in the first half. Ottawa-Glandorf leading 7-0. They have the ball at their own 36 here on 3rd down and 9. Back to pass. Coleman, screen pass set up. Brinkman with the catch, gets across the 40, but he's spun down short of the first down. As Brinkman works his way to the 48-yard line, and now Ottawa-Glandorf with a 4th down and 2. And it looks like they're going to punt as well. Their defense has been stout tonight here against Galion. Obviously a lot of self-inflicted wounds, but they've held firm. And Coach Schreiner, the head coach who came from Bowling Green State University.
Yeah.
Yep, that's right, Timmy.
I know, they beat Toledo last year. What's wrong with the Rockets? Beat them all to something.
I didn't want to bring that up, but my alumni got you. Was there a fair catch signal made here, Tim?
Well, if he did, he started
Let's
running.
watch it. I mean, you kind of throw it to the
late.
side.
You know, it wasn't a very good fair catch signal.
We've seen that multiple times this year where they kind of just wave their hand to the side. You got to get it up in the air. The officials do converse, but it looks like it's going to be down to the 25-yard line. Yeah, I mean, it was maybe a quick one. You got to be a lot more obvious when you're making the fair catch.
I wouldn't know. I was not a punt returner. I think the last punt I returned, I was in 8th grade.
So Galion will take over 1st and 10 from their own 25. Prosser goes in motion behind the line to the right side. They will hand it to Stuckman off the left tackle. The ball's loose. It came out. Ottawa-Glandorf says they have it.
And they do.
And they do. Huge turnover. Ottawa-Glandorf set up, and that's exactly why Coach Schreiner sent the punt unit out, because now his defense got the turnover, and they're set up in business at the Galion 28-yard line.
Yeah, Galion's making a boatload of mistakes.
That just, I mean, obviously, we're stating the obvious. It just drives Coach Dick crazy, but you've been so solid for the past 3 weeks, Tim, and have limited the mistakes, but now all of a sudden the first round of the playoffs, and it's just mistake after mistake so far.
Well, huge here for the Galion defense to hold.
And Evers with a huge hole on that left side. He'll get down the sideline, turns the corner, and picks up the first down inside the 15-yard line. Evers has had a couple of runs now, back-to-back possessions to pick up the first down. Just a nice solid job of sealing the edge there by that left side of the line, Tim, and he's able to turn the corner.
Yeah, and he gains 14 yards. He had a lot of room out there to go. They did a great job of sealing the edge, and Evers shows good speed getting to the outside.
All right, 1st and 10. Clock ticking down to 6 minutes left in the first half. Evers again. Same play, not the same result. Galion is there to corral him in the backfield for a loss of 1. Tim, and here's the thing. Ottawa-Glandorf brought a lot of fans. I mean, they have it over there.
They traveled pretty well considering how far they had to come.
And the Galion fans, I mean, obviously they're stunned after the turnover right now, as the momentum has shifted towards OG. Coleman steps back, now runs, gets to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, much better job of stopping that play this time by the Tigers.
Yeah, coming off the edge and able to make the tackle was Zach Salee.
Well, the ball's on a 15, so if they don't gain anything, they're looking at about a 32 or 33-yard field goal, and it looked like their kicker was pretty good.
Yeah. 3rd and 10 from the 14. Coleman with Evers to his left. They'll send Brinkman in motion towards the left side of the line, and a flag.
These guys are going to get tired.
Flag after flag after flag. This time it goes against Ottawa-Glandorf. It will be a false start, 5-yard penalty.
That's their 5th penalty for 35 yards.
And it's not like the officials are throwing it to throw it, Tim. These are actual penalties. I mean,
no,
they're the obvious call.
The one call that I feel officials don't ever screw up is calling someone in motion.
Yeah.
I mean, it's usually pretty obvious. They may not call someone in motion, but if they call them in motion, it usually is correct.
Coleman, pressure comes, just throws it out, and he was in the pocket.
I'm not sure that's not grounding.
And it's incomplete, and no flag. So now the ball at the 19. We'll see what they decide to do here, Tim.
But, Yeah, he did.
Fourth down and 15. There was nobody in the area.
That wasn't close.
He was in the middle of the field, so he's obviously in the pocket.
Well before he threw the ball, his receiver turned up the field. I think they're just going to go for it, though.
Yeah, they are. 4 wide. Brinkman to the right. Here of Kuhlman. Drops back. Pressure coming. Lobs it to the corner. Incomplete. No flags. Turnover on downs.
Great job by the Galion defense holding there.
Yes.
On the quick change.
But there is a flag. It is holding against Ottawa-Glandorf and obviously declined. So I guess I lied when I said no flags, but this one doesn't matter. But yes, Tim, Galion, you could hear the stunned silence on this side. Ottawa-Glandorf had the momentum. Galion takes it back.
Absolutely. Now Galion's just got to get something going offensively.
They've had success with the jet sweep, but they can't stop going in motion before the
it seems
snap.
like every time they run the play, it's brought back because of a penalty, so they got to clean that up and just take care of the football. They got plenty of time, as explosive as their offense is.
4:19 left here in the first half. They do have one timeout remaining. It will be trips to the left here for the Tigers. And they'll run the jet sweep. Working his way across the 20 and upended at the 24 is Jacob Chambers. So a gain of 4 there for Chambers, or 5, and bring up 2nd down and 5.
Well, it's first, they finally ran a jet sweep where they didn't get a penalty and they gained 5 yards. So good start on first down.
Rolling to the right, pressure coming from the left side. Schmidt's going to take off with it. Stiff arms his way down the sideline, and he picks up a first down. Just shy. At the 29.
Faked out our camera guy.
I know. He completely set up that stiff arm. And now it's 3rd and short, Tim. 3rd and 1.
Well, last time 3rd and 1 or 4th and 1, they allowed too much penetration. So let's see what they're going to come up with here on 3rd and 1. Make sure they get this first down.
Yeah.
The Galion gets kickoff in the second half, so this would be a great drive if they can.
Schmidt works his way, quarterback keeper, first down and more across the 35. And Aiden Schmidt just takes it off the right side and gets the first down himself to the 37-yard line. And Tim didn't even get to see the play.
I don't know. Yeah, I have no idea what happened. I had some 6th grader making me move. They did get a first down, right?
Yes, he did.
Who carried it?
Schmidt.
All right.
This time it's Stuckman. Stuckman, a little shimmy at the line. And gets to the 40-yard line. 2nd down and 7. .222 left here in the half. Ottawa-Glandorf leading 7-0. Chambers, jet sweep, works his way towards the left side. Ottawa-Glandorf has it all over, and he's dragged down by Metzger. There is a flag. Is this going to be the horse collar?
I'm not sure it should be.
It looked like he grabbed his jersey to me.
I thought he had the back of his jersey and not around the collar.
Yeah, it was the back of it.
He's got he had his collar. He may have had his hands inside the collar there. Yes, it is.
Show that replay again. Here we go.
I'm telling you, look, I think he's got the back of his shoulder. See? I mean, it's his jersey pulling away, but I think he had his fingers stuck inside his collar.
All right.
Of the jersey. And
head official Tim Birie.
I don't agree with these guys a lot, but I think they may have got that one right.
Hey, Galion benefits to the 47.
I know Galion's happy with the call.
It's a 1st and 10. They were all over that though, Tim.
Yeah.
4 wide here for the Tigers. In motion again. They fumble it. Loose ball. Who fell on it?
And the OG may have got it again.
And OG does have it. And it was coming out of the bottom of the pile, Austin Haley. I don't know if he had the first one, but he falls on top of this one.
I just remember the Galion cap.
Yeah. At the 49.
Well, it looked like Galion was finally going to get something going here. And
you know, Chambers, right before the penalty, he actually did kind of bobble the handoff on the jet sweep, and they do it again this time. Not a clean handoff. Yep, and this time it just slips out of his hands. He almost, he had it originally there, and then this time it actually slips out of his hands. So now OG with 1:40 remaining here in the half, set to throw. Swings it out wide. Does he have the arm? That's a big-time throw down to the sideline. Makes the catch just shy of the first down is Deegan Miller. But Coleman had to throw that about 40 yards to the left side of the field, and now they'll hurry it up and go tempo here.
Yeah, he showed great arm strength. There's no doubt about that because these are wide hash marks, which makes long throws.
And he drops it this time. And it'll bring up 3rd down and 1.
Yeah, just ran a quick out, and he threw it on time and right to him, and it was just dropped.
So 3rd and 1. Play clock down to 20 seconds. Game clock at 1 minute and 12 seconds. Ottawa-Glandorf still with 2 timeouts. Play clock down to 5. Brinkman in motion to the left side. Coleman, quarterback keeper, first down inside the 40, and then shoved down inside the 35. And Zach Salee on the tackle, but not before OG picks up the first down. Brinkman now to the right of Coleman. They'll get back to the line. Coleman to throw, out route, nobody home. As Deegan Miller was running a fade route. Coleman thought he was going to go on the out route, and a little miscommunication.
Must have been but it's weird because Coleman's had some passes where he's missed very badly. Then he'll have a couple throws where it's like, oh my gosh.
Like that one to the long side of the field.
So it might be something with his mechanics where he just, doesn't get his feet right, get his shoulders pointed to where he wants to throw it. And that's so important for quarterbacks.
Coleman rolling out to the right. Throws on the run, catches made, turning up and being tracked down immediately was Ethan Metzger by his counterpart, number 1, Trey Longwell. And that will be another first down, though, for the Titans. They're 1st and 10 to the 23 with 53 seconds left in the half.
And that's what I mean. Then he fires that one just right on the money. Guy's well covered, and he hits him, right in stride.
It'll be Brinkman to the left here of Coleman. Trips to the left for the Titans. Pressure coming from the left. Just lobs it out incomplete again as he had pressure in his face by Zach Salee.
He did a good job of getting rid of that one and making it at least close enough that he doesn't get a penalty.
So 2nd down and 10 now for the Titans. 49 seconds. They still have those 2 timeouts, Tim, so still plenty of time. Coleman. They'll tighten it up. He'll roll to the right. And he'll throw on the run. And in the tight coverage there, he threw it where nobody could get it down the sideline, and that benefits Ottawa-Glandorf because that play was not set up from the beginning.
No, it didn't look like it was very well.
I mean, they run to the short side of the field.
They didn't have a lot of room at all to throw the ball.
44 seconds now here on 3rd and 10. Trips to the left again here for the Titans, and a timeout by Ottawa-Glandorf. We'll take one as well. 44 seconds remain here in the half. It is Ottawa-Glandorf 7, Galion nothing. You're listening to the high school football game of the week here on WBCO and watching on the OH Report.
First Federal Community Bank is excited to be entering its second year of media sponsorship for local nonprofits.
We've partnered with Crawford County Now to offer nonprofits a podcast and a radio spot.
First Federal Community Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Call 74.
And 10, firing across the middle. It's picked off again. I believe it was Trey Longwell, and it was. Same exact play earlier. And Tim, I think you kind of brought that one into existence because you asked during the break, didn't a guy intercept one earlier? And now they got another one.
For some reason, I didn't write it on my stats, and I knew they intercepted a pass.
That was right there.
And now they intercept another one.
Right across the middle.
39 seconds, you can see what Galion tries to do here.
Only one timeout,
only
right?
One timeout, so they're not going to take a knee, but see if they can get some big positive yards on this first down. And
3 wide receivers set up to the left. Braxton Stuckman takes it that way, and he is going nowhere. They've just had a hard time on that counter play, Tim, every time with Stuckman. And we're going to have a timeout, and it will be OG taking the timeout. That is their last one with 24 seconds, but probably just seeing here if, Galion makes another mistake.
Yeah, well, they've had trouble holding on to the football.
And that's more than likely, if I'm Coach Dick, I'm probably taking a knee right here.
Yeah, well, especially you can do that because you get the ball to start the second half.
Here's a surprising score, Tim. Ontario 7, Clear Fork 2. Ottawa-Glandorf leading 7-0 here. Northmore on top of Caldwell 42-0. Big Walnut 35, Logan 0. Hillsdale leading Fairport 21-6. Danville on top of Bridgeport 24-0.
And the only other one is Cuyahoga Heights 21, St. Paul 14.
All right.
I would like to point out to Adam, who mentioned that Caldwell might be pretty good, that I said every time Caldwell came up to play in Fredericktown with a great record, we beat the snot out of them, and Northmore probably was going to do the same.
It's looking a little bit like
And I think the snot is out.
They're looking for the ground.
Galion carries it here, and I thought you were going to say something else other than snot.
They are looking for a Caldwell is looking for a handkerchief.
And that will take us to the end of the half here, Tim. Ottawa-Glandorf with a 7-0 lead. It's been a game of defense here tonight, both between Galion and Ottawa-Glandorf. Ottawa-Glandorf with a 7-yard touchdown run by Peyton Coleman. And that was to start the second quarter, but that was all the scoring so far that we've had tonight. So stay tuned to the OH Report for the bands in the halftime show. We'll come back here on WBCO with stats and analysis from the first half. Again, your score at halftime, it is Ottawa-Glandorf 7, Galion 0. You are listening to high school football here on WBCO and watching on the OH Report.
First Federal Community Bank is excited to offer the Ohio Home Buyers Plus program, and it's meant to offer an above-market interest rate to help the potential home buyer in their journey towards home ownership.
We've got great rates, especially for first-time home buyers. Here at First Federal Community Bank, we are here to make the home buying experience smooth and stress-free.
As a community bank, we're excited to offer this account to help fulfill the dream of owning a home. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
He's going to send a line drive down the field. It'll be fielded on the bounce. That is Schieffer. Schieffer finds a hole at the center. Schieffer turns on the burners. Schieffer could go. He's at the 50, 45. He's got one man to beat. Schieffer with the ball in his left hand. He's going to take it to the house. Whitford opens up the second half with the kick return touchdown.
Next, we have the Who's I Can See for Miles, along with the Turtles hit, Happy Together, featuring the OG Color Guard. We close our show tonight with Every Time We Touch, the Eurodance staple from Cascada.
first show of our season. Get ready as we turn up the heat with Led Zeppelin's Immigrant Song.
First Federal Community Bank is excited to offer the Ohio Home Buyers Plus program, and it's meant to offer an above market interest rate to help the potential home buyer in their journey towards home ownership.
We've got great rates, especially for first-time home buyers. Here at First Federal Community Bank, we are here to make the home buying experience smooth and stress-free.
As a community bank, we're excited to offer this account to help fulfill the dream of owning a home. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
He's going to send a line drive down the field. It'll be fielded on the bounce. That is Schieffer. Schieffer finds a hole at the center. Schieffer turns on the burners. Schieffer could go. He's at the 50, 45. He's got one man to beat. Schieffer with the ball in his left hand. He's going to take it to the house. Whitford opens up the second half with the kick return touchdown.
WBCO and the OH.Report, Jared Moore, Tim Birie. As Ottawa-Glandorf has a 7-0 lead on top of Galion. Some score updates here at the half. Ontario on top of Clear Fork, 7-2. Northmore all over Caldwell, 42-0. Big Walnut leading Logan 42-0 as well. And Hillsdale on top of Fairport, 36-6. Danville leading Bridgeport, 40-0. And Cuyahoga Heights leading St. Paul 21 or 28-14. Clyde on top of Otsego 14-0. Western Reserve leading Crestline 42-0. Perkins all over Upper at 42-0. 42-0 is a very common score today. Shawnee over Pleasant at the moment 13-0. And Vermilion leading River Valley 21-14. Colonel Crawford and Monroe Central tied at 15. Shelby leading Elida 35-21.
Well, a little closer than maybe some anticipated.
Yeah. West Holmes and what's the name of that school, Tim? Have you ever heard of that?
Which one?
Unioto?
Oh, Unioto. Yeah.
Watch out there. Yeah, that school, right?
Yeah. No, I've heard of them.
Have you?
What school haven't you heard of?
Yeah. They were in the state final.
Did you coach for them too?
No, never did. They were in the Final Four, I think, one year.
Tim has coached for 95% of the schools in Unioto, the only school not on his list. So, maybe you can make that dream come true. Come true, Tim, and go coach them.
I am officially retired.
7-0 our score here. What's a couple keys to victory here for both teams, Tim?
Well,
and let's start off with OG.
Well,
they seriously need to take care of the football, right?
First of all, with both teams, it's just take care of the football and stop getting pre-snap penalties. But maybe more than anything is they got to – I think they got to decide. I said in the pregame they really want to establish the run. But, they ended up throwing the ball let me make sure I got this right. So they ended up throwing the ball 15 times, and they ran the ball 15 times, so they're even.
Yeah.
And some coaches would say, well, that's what we want. We want that complete balance. But OG wants to run the ball. And
Galion, they got to clean it up as well.
No doubt.
And they also have to get on the field. Their offense hasn't been on the field very long at all here tonight, and OG's been able to take advantage of that. But Galion's going to have the ball to start this second half, trailing 7-0. It'll be Grant Evers to kick off. And it will be squibbed to the right side. It'll come back to the 15. And tripped up. Man, he had a head full of steam. Did Kurt Hay. And he'll be tripped up at the 23.
Yeah, but he is mostly running east and west, so
yeah.
So still a pretty long field to go, but let's see if the Tigers can get something going here and put that first half behind them.
So Aiden Schmidt and company back out on offense. Trips to the left. Stuckman to the left of Schmidt as well. He's going to be the lead blocker for Schmidt, who bounces it outside. He gets outside of the hash. Now gets to the sideline, gets across to 30, and he's spun down at the 35-yard line. And a nice pickup there for Aiden Schmidt on first down, and gives them a first down as well on the quarterback keeper.
Yeah, just a straight keep. It shows what quick feet that Schmidt has. He did a really good job of dancing around and getting a 13-yard gain.
Blake Blueball with a nice block there on the edge to set him loose. 1st and 10 with 11:30 left here in the third quarter. They'll fake the jet sweep, run the counter play here with Stuckman. Bounces it back inside. Stuckman across the 40-yard line, and he's tripped up to the 42.
And another 6-yard gain.
And that's where, you fake the jet sweep. They did that multiple times against River Valley. And Stuckman and Schmidt were able to break it loose a couple times. Even when Schmidt reads the end on that play, Tim.
Well, what was really good about it is, I liked it, and so they really had that cross-buck almost action, and now they're running the straight jet sweep.
And they do, and upended was Landon Prosser and took a big hit from Dan Dooling.
But it's still, they didn't make any mistakes. They got a gain of 2.
It brings up 3rd down and 2.
Very makeable 3rd and 3, 3rd and 2. And they just got to keep moving the football. And sooner or later, they're going to pop one. That's what they do.
Schmidt. They will give it to Stuckman, who's grabbed from behind and taken down. Brinkman, the first one to touch him. And then a host of Ottawa-Glandorf defenders, Jaden Steck-Schulte, along with Jordan Shoemaker. And a big stop for Ottawa-Glandorf. They just, have not been able to convert short yardage situations. Kind of almost like Ohio State has been lately on a 3rd or 4th and 1.
Well, that time, OG just got great penetration, and maybe look for a fake punt here.
They do fake it. They run it off the right side, and he'll get the first down. You called it, Tim.
Yeah. Coach Dick and I have done this
Trevor
for a while.
Shifley, the up back. They faked the snap high to the punter. OG wasn't set up for it. You knew it was coming eventually. And that time they convert the first down to the 48, and we'll see if Galion can maintain this momentum.
Now that's the big thing. They got this huge play now, and let's see if they can keep moving the football. Right now they're having trouble just getting lined up.
They finally get set here with 3 flankers on the left side. They'll run the wide receiver screen. This is Chambers across the 50 to the 49. Actually, that was Braxton Prosser. A gain of 3. 2nd down and 7. And they're finally into OG territory, just on the other side of the 50. They'll bunch up the receivers here towards the left. One lone wide receiver there. He'll go in motion. And taking it up the left side is Chambers. A big hit, but he gets right to the line to gain. At the 43-yard line, he's going to be just shy, about a half a yard. Actually, the official on this side says first down.
He keeps telling them to move the sticks, and they're not moving it.
And I think the official on that side is like, no, it's short, but
we're going to have a fight here.
The officials with the old-fashioned stare down.
Yeah.
Now you got to blow it dead eventually, right?
You got to measure. You got to do something. The guy on this side is saying it is a first down, and the guy on that side is saying no, it's not.
I think they're saying just short, but they are going to measure, I think.
Well, and it's weird because I think, and I could be mistaken, but I think that, when you're in the playoffs, it used to be you got these crews that never worked together. But I thought they changed it some time ago, especially with these games with all the games on Friday night, that the whole crew works together, that it's the crew that's worked together all year. I might be wrong, but I thought they changed that for some reason.
Well, you can see where the nose of the football is, and it's touching the 42-yard line, so I don't know why you can't determine that.
Well, and I think that's what this guy was.
They will give him the first down on the measurement.
The guy on this sideline was looking at. He said it's the point of the ball is just across almost the 42-yard line, and the stick was at
the 40.
Wasn't at the 42-yard line. It was short of the 42-yard line.
Prosser goes in motion. They'll fake the jet sweep to him. Pressure coming up the middle. Schmidt eludes the first defender. Now runs up the right side, and then he is spun down at the 40-yard line. So Aiden Schmidt gets the initial broken tackle and then goes forward for 2 yards to the 40.
Yeah, that's all it looks like is a 2-yard gain, but it very easily could have been
5 or 6 yard loss.
an 8-yard loss. And so it's like a 10-yard gain. Because he was going to take a sack. They faked the jet sweep and were trying to throw it, but there was pressure immediately on Aiden Schmidt.
2nd down and 8. Schmidt rolls to the right, throws it on the run, catch is made, and scampering out of bounds across the 35 to the 34 was Chambers on the catch. So 3rd down and 2 from the OG 34-yard line. 7:48 left here in the 3rd quarter. Ottawa-Glandorf leading 7-0 on top of Galion.
This is the down Glandorf keeps getting great penetration on, but not this
They don't
time.
do it this time.
Not
Across
this
the
time.
30, bowling through defenders to the 25, and then diving forward to the 20 was Braxton Prosser on the jet sweep. He cut it back inside, and he picks up the 1st down.
Yeah, 14-yard gain. Great job, boy. He planted his foot, and he turned it up, and that's as hard as I've seen him run all year, boy. He ran some guys over, broke some tackles. Great job by Braxton Prosser.
So now a 1st and 10, 7:20 to go here, 3rd quarter. Galion trailing by 7. And this time Stuckman on the counter and then slices his way across the 20 to the 18 before he's tripped up. Gain of 3 there for Stuckman.
I don't know. That seemed to be just a little off-timed, the way they wanted to run it. But
Yeah, again, the timing just wasn't right there on the sweep. And then
3-yard gain, though, and so they keep getting positive yards instead of taking losses.
trips to the right here for the Tigers. This is a read play, and Schmidt keeps it, and he will walk in.
He read it right. That's for sure.
And is there a flag? The officials wave it dead and holding.
I was going to say, the way he was standing there.
Unbelievable. Takes away the score. And Aiden Schmidt's touchdown wiped off the board.
Did a great job. If he rode that for a long, long time, pulled it, found a nice seam, and unfortunately the 10-yard penalty brings it back.
So it will remain second down. Ball now placed at the 28-yard line. Huge, huge penalty. Again, read play. Schmidt tries to bounce it outside, scampers his way, keeps his feet in bounds across the 25. He's bounced tackled at the 25 as he bounced off a defender and stood on his feet, and then he's finally taken down at the 22. Yeah, a little tailgating going on over there. Might be where the band's set up there. I don't know.
Well, they got to get some good positive yards here. They got a nice field goal kicker. If they don't get the first down, they may go 2 downs, or they may kick the field goal if they get some positive yardage on this down.
3rd and 12. Schmidt rolls to the right, lobs it out just out of the reach of Jacob Chambers. He had space to pick up the first down, but it's off of his hands, incomplete.
Well, I thought he could have.
And there was a flag regardless for an illegal man downfield.
Guy's already walking it off, and they haven't even looked to see if they're going to take it.
I'd say.
He's so used to walking them off so far today, he's ready to roll. Let's just see. I need the exercise.
The officials have certainly gotten their steps in here tonight.
So it looks like they're going to decline it and take it first down.
Ball stays at the 23-yard line.
So
Are they sending out the field goal unit?
I think they are.
I'd say it'll be Alan Carver They haven't set the play clock yet. Now they do.
And again, I'm sure Coach might be yelling, watch the fake.
This will be a 40-yard field goal attempt for Alan Carver from the left hash. It is blocked. Ottawa-Glandorf with the blocked field goal. And they're set up once again at the 39-yard line.
Well, a nice drive goes for naught, and too bad. The Tigers had it going really well till that penalty.
Yeah, it just came off the left edge. I think it was Evers with the block. But what the recovery was Steck Schulte. But it will be 1st and 10 here for Ottawa-Glandorf from their own 39-yard line. 5:42 left here in the third quarter. They'll run it with Evers off the left tackle. He finds a seam. Little burst of speed there to the 45. And it brings up 2nd down and 4. And Galion took up over 6 minutes of clock on that drive. A very methodical drive that included the fake punt, but it's all for naught. Evers bounces off the initial tackle, breaks through, gets across the line to gain into Galion territory to the 49. And a 1st down here for OG.
Did I see a flag?
You did. Holding. Yep.
Look how quick it comes, too.
Did he just lob it out there? He's just like so used to it. He's just like. So take away the 1st down. And this goes all the way back to the 35. So that was right at the line of scrimmage where that happened.
Well, it had to be because he threw it almost before he handed the ball off.
Second and 13. Coolman in the gun.
Yeah, he's bringing pressure.
And it was a read play, and he'll bounce off a tackle again, does Evers, as he spins around. Excuse me. Oh. So 3rd down and 10 from the 38-yard line here for OG. Now Galion, they lost the momentum on the blocked field goal. Now a huge defensive stop in the waiting if they could get it right here. Play clock at 9. 2 wide receivers set. Brinkman to the right side of the line. That's a quarterback keeper. Coleman outside. Coleman close.
Well,
he's not going to be to the marker, but he's about a yard shy to the 47-yard line. It's going to bring up 4th down and 1. So decision time here. Does Coach Schreiner continue to rely on his defense to get stops? And I think he is.
It looks like they're going to punt. Got to watch for the long count, make sure Galion doesn't go off sides. Galion's blocked a lot of punts. Let's see, maybe they can get their hands on this one.
They will punt it away. End over end. Fair catch made. Did he touch it? I'd fall on it if I were somebody. It's picked up at the 24-yard line.
Someone
by
made a
Kurt
really good
Hay.
play.
Yeah, Kurt Hay picked it up. He almost
popped that thing. He is one more tackle away from having a lot of space. But again, a really kind of poor, I don't know if he's trying to call for a fair catch, but he didn't signal it very well.
And Kurt Hay picked it up. Yeah, you're right, Tim. One, but your guy, Adam, Steck Schulte.
He sure made a lot of big plays tonight, hasn't he?
Has that Guardian cap on, so he's very visible.
So So again, the Galion's defense holds after the quick change. See if the offense can get something going again.
1st and 10. They'll swing it out. Wide receiver screen, trying to break loose down the sideline. Was Braxton Prosser. Do we have another flag?
I don't think so. Although they are stopping the clock, so I don't know if he went out of bounds.
He did go out of bounds. About a 5-yard gain, and there will be a penalty flag holding against Galion.
You know, you can't run anything wide in this game without getting a call for a hold.
We have not gone a drive without a penalty.
No.
And Tim, that just, I mean, it takes away any momentum that you have. I mean, it's just you always say as a football coach, right, let's keep it on schedule, keep it on schedule.
Yeah.
When you're consistently off schedule, it's just so hard to come back from that.
Yeah. Well, and especially, you know, neither team has played great. This is getting old. Go. Son of a bitch. Sorry.
Back to pass. Here's Schmidt rolling towards the right. Steps up, gets to the 15, works his way across the 20, gets the first down. Across the 25 is Aiden Schmidt. So at the 28, run. Yes.
Great run, gets Galion going again. 22-yard run by Schmidt. Maybe that'll be what gets them going.
Trips to the right here for the Tigers. Looking to throw. Swings it across the middle, and it's incomplete. Sticks Schulte on the coverage. Knocks it down, incomplete. Looked like it was for Landon Prosser, but he also had Chambers running across the middle as well on the deep route. As we have a new counter here, plays without a flag. I love it. Yeah, just keep that in the corner there.
We did get through there. There we go.
There you go. Plays without a flag or plays without somebody walking through our booth. They'll run the sweep, and this time it's going nowhere. Push it forward on Chambers to the 31. A couple yards, but that's going to be it. They've been all over that play, Tim.
They've done a really good job. That's what I was going to say. They've done a really good job of not letting Chambers get loose, and because once he gets loose, he's tough to catch. And so on a 3rd and 8, this is big play for the Tigers. Big play for the OG defense. Look for Steck Schulte to be making a play. He seems to make a lot of them on this.
Nope, they'll come from the left edge, and Aiden Schmidt on the quarterback keeper is taken down. Did he fumble the football? I think they're going to say he was down. But back there on the tackle for loss was Austin Haley. Came off of his defensive end spot off the left edge and was able to take Schmidt down. First one also to hit him was Jason Gira. So 4th and 12. Galion set to punt, and this time they will punt it away. Metzger back to receive the punt, and they shank it a little to the right.
Got a pretty good roll, though.
Yeah, got a good roll across the 45, and OG will have it at their own 43-yard line. So Ottawa-Glandorf holds, but again, aided by penalties.
Yeah, you know, it's they seem to just he seems to get a holding call on every drive, and have 2 of them already this half, and so they've put a lot of pressure on the defense, but the defense has risen to the occasion so far just about every time.
Yeah, still 7-0. Ottawa-Glandorf with 1:04 left here in the 3rd quarter. They're actually going to put Metzger back there in the Wildcat. He bounces off a tackle and gets to the 45. A gain of 2. There for Ethan Metzger.
But again, it could have been a tackle for a loss. They keep missing that first tackle. And, you know, luckily they got great pursuit, so they're limiting the damage. But Boy, you know, now they're 2nd and 8. It could have been maybe a 2nd and 13.
Now OG's starting to really take up some clock too, Tim. And what will more than likely be the last play here of the third quarter. Again, Wildcat with Metzger. Brinkman goes in motion, and a motion penalty, yes. So it does go against OG.
Now they'll get that 2nd and 13 that they thought they were going to have anyways.
From the 40-yard line now. So they went to that Wildcat look twice, but now OG's going to take it to the end of the third quarter after the penalty. And we'll start fresh. 2nd and 13 for OG from their own 40-yard line. They lead it 7-0. We have played 3 quarters here tonight. Quarter number 4, season on the line here between Galion and Ottawa-Glandorf. It is the Titans 7, Tigers 0. You're listening to high school football on WBCO and watching on the OH.Report.
First Federal Community Bank is excited to be entering its 2nd year of media sponsorship for local nonprofits.
We've partnered with Crawford County Now to offer nonprofits a podcast and a radio spot.
First Federal Community Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
As soon as we came back, I think OG had a big play. They do. Kuhlman rolled out to the right, threw it on the run, and it was tipped up and caught by Ethan Metzger, and he gets down, and there is a penalty. It is roughing the passer against Galion, so add another 15 yards, and this ball is at the 10-yard line. And what a turn of events.
Yeah, it looked like they were.
I mean, and if they score again, Tim, almost, I mean, at this point, it feels almost insurmountable here for Galion. Coleman, quarterback keeper at the 10, jumps over the lineman on the ground and then falls to the 8. And this is a first or second down and goal now.
That was the first down they've had this half.
7-0 OG here, start of the fourth quarter, but they're knocking on the door with a 2nd and goal from the 8. Winner to more than likely face Shelby next week, and there is movement. Recount the counter. Yeah, as you can see there on the screen, Elida and Shelby. It was Shelby 35-21 with the lead. Much closer than you probably would expect with the number 1 versus number 16 team, but and Galion obviously with the experience against Shelby. But OG with the lead, 7-0, 10:50 to play here in the game. 2nd down and goal now from the 13. Coleman back to pass. Lobs it across the middle, wide open. Caught, touchdown. Dan Dooling. 13-yard reception has put OG on top. 13-0. And they strike with 10:42 left here in the game.
Well, as you see, Galion brought a lot of pressure, and Coleman first did a good job of just backing up. He's got a strong arm, so he's able to throw it off his back foot. But
I
the
cannot hear Tim at all.
Dueling was wide open.
And it is up and no good.
That may be a good thing.
So it is 13-0. Yeah, 13-0 is our score. OG on top of Galion. 10:42 to go here in the game. You're listening to high school football on WBCO and watching on the OH Report.
First Federal Community Bank is excited to be entering its second year of media sponsorship for local nonprofits.
We've partnered with Crawford County Now to offer nonprofits a podcast and a radio spot.
First Federal Community Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Leading Galion by 2 scores now. Fielded at the 30. Galion's going to take this to the 35 and with a head full of steam.
There's an offensive lineman there.
I'd say was number 53, and that was Cameron Coleman. Put him in at running back. Or Camden Coleman, excuse me.
He looked pretty good running the ball there.
No, that was Cameron. That was Cameron, not Camden. There's 2 Coolmans on the team.
Well, Galion has to get one in the end zone on this possession, I think.
It's imperative with 10:37 to go. Chambers in motion. They'll fake it to him. Schmidt right up the gut, across the hash, down across midfield into OG territory. There is a flag. This might be a face mask. Or is it a hold?
Haven't seen anyone. I think they pointed their way.
It's going towards OG, so it is a face mask, yes. Just a 5-yard variety.
Right there at the very end.
So spot it now at the 43. 1st and 10 here for Galion. Schmidt rolls to the left, looking to throw. Gets to the line of scrimmage, decides to run, cuts it back upfield, and then dives to the 36.
I popped it into the charger for a little while. You did fantastic.
Might be on, Aiden Schmidt did a good job there. He's rolling out, couldn't find anybody, got it up there. 7-yard gain. It might be on his legs that they're going to have to try to win this thing, or at least
they did it against River Valley. We saw that.
Absolutely, yeah. He ran for, I think, near 200 yards, didn't he?
Again, this time Prosser in motion. They feed it to Stuckman, trying to get towards the left side, and he is ran out of bounds.
Going to be close to first down. He knocked the stick down.
Yep, and he got it. And Steck Schulte able to run him out, but not before Stuckman gets the first down now with 9:41 left in the game. Galion trailing 13-0. All at the 32-yard line into Ottawa-Glandorf territory. 4 wide receivers on the field. Low snap. Schmidt runs it to the right. On the run again. And then a juke move, but he is taken down by Brinkman. Right around the line of scrimmage. A hard tackle there by Brinkman. The Galion fans want a flag. And he just threw him down. I don't really see anything.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess they're maybe thinking he got horse collared again, but I don't think he did.
Yeah, I guess the fans are kind of used to the flags by now. So
yeah,
want one for everything. Chambers in motion. The timing was off there, but Schmidt takes it across the 30, gets to the 25. He's going to be short of the first down marker, but it'll bring up 3rd down and 2.
Well, again, fake the jet sweep, and then it's been a pretty good play in the second half for him. And he kept it with some linemen pulling around and had a little room. Now, very makeable 3rd and 3, 3rd and 2.
This time they'll keep the jet sweep around the edge, turning the quarter to the 15, and then ran out of bounds was Braxton Prosser, but he gets another Galion first down. 8:23 left in the game, and they are now into the red zone to the 15-yard line.
It's first time tonight that they've been in the red zone, and now let's see if they can finish the drive, get a stop, and if they make both extra points, 2 touchdowns and 2 extra points, they win this thing. So let's see if the Tigers can get to the first step in that score here.
Schmidt hands it Stuckman, grabbed by the legs, goes across the line of scrimmage. Be down at the 13. Ethan Metzger able to grab him by the legs and take him down. A gain of 2 yards there for Braxton Stuckman.
Boy, it's not come easy at all tonight for Stuckman. He's been able to run the ball effectively all year, but tonight it's 13 carries but only 33 yards, so he's not even averaging 3 yards a carry.
Schmidt in the gun. Stuckman to his right. They will sweep it around the edge. Inside the 5, diving forward is Jacob Chambers. He will get the first down, and it's 1st and goal. Carver and Prosser set up towards the left. Galion 1st and goal from the 2. Keeper for Schmidt, and he will be stuffed. And it'll stay now 2nd and goal.
He just faked it, tried to run that counter play, and OG did a good job of stuffing it up. So it's 2nd and goal from the 2.
I think they're going to bring in the goal line package now, Tim.
Bringing in a couple extra linemen, it looks like.
It is Stuckman to the left of Schmidt. And the gun, they'll fake the handoff. Schmidt off the left tackle. And he got in just barely across the line. And Aiden Schmidt with a 3-yard touchdown run. And Galion is on the board. And they're back in it with 6:20 to go. Here in the game, Aiden Schmidt with the touchdown.
Ran that counter again, the quarterback counter play, and pulled the tackle around, and looked like he had all kinds of room, but then, boy, OG just filled it hard, and he almost didn't get across the goal line.
High snap, kick is up, and Carver knocks it through. So it is Ottawa-Glandorf 13, Galion 7, 6 minutes and 20 seconds remaining here in this sectional semifinal. Ottawa-Glandorf with a 6-point advantage. You're listening to high school football here on WBCO, along with watching on the OH.Report.
First Federal Community Bank is excited to be entering its 2nd year of media sponsorship for local nonprofits.
We've partnered with Crawford County Now to offer nonprofits a podcast and a radio spot.
First Federal Community Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
The OH Report, Jared Moore alongside with Tim Birie. OG with a 13-7 lead, and fielding the ball at the 27-yard line is Jordan Shoemaker here for Ottawa-Glandorf. They have that 6-point advantage. Both teams have all 3 timeouts, Tim. 6 minutes and 18 seconds to go.
Well, Galion could really use a 3-and-out right now is what they need. So this first down is going to really set the tone for probably the drive. You know, that when they have gotten OG in 3rd and long, they've had pretty good success. And by them, I mean the Tiger defense.
So the Titans 1st and 10 from their own 27-yard line. It'll be Coleman in a gun. Evers to his left. He will hand it to him. He'll try to get outside and then cut it upfield inside across the 25, and he's tripped up at the 27-yard line. A gain of no gain on the play.
Yeah, Galion got really good penetration that time, and it was very close to being another loss, but he was able to jump over the potential tackler and get it at least back to the line of scrimmage.
.540 to play in the game. 2nd down and 10 here for the Titans. Coleman looking towards the left, throws it, nobody home.
Not even close.
Intended for Nolan Horstman. Again, that timing on that out route has just been off all night for Ottawa-Glandorf.
Yeah, because that time it looked like the receiver broke his route off and kind of almost stopped, and he was throwing it all the way to the sideline, thinking he was going to be there, but he was not.
So a 3rd down and 10, and now, all importantly for Galion, the clock has stopped.
That's what I was going to just mention as well. With the incomplete pass, and so now they can get it stopped again if they can get him to throw another one away.
3rd and 10, trips to the left here for Ottawa-Glandorf. They're going to run it with Coleman. Coleman won't get there. He's stuffed inside the 30-yard line. Now the Galion faithful starting to get into it. And this will be punting time.
Well, is this where they do it? They've blocked a lot of kicks.
And they have
in the last few years.
And, of course, Ottawa-Glandorf missed their last extra point, so they only have a 6-point advantage.
Is that Chambers? Who's back deep?
It's not Chambers. I think it's Hay. Kurt Hay back there to receive.
Hey, is he a freshman? Oh, and they almost got it.
He is a freshman.
Get away from it.
It touches OG.
It touched OG up at about the 44-yard line.
That was a live ball.
Yeah, there we go. He moved it up.
Yep. They'll mark him at the 43. And Galion. Yeah. And Galion will take over at their own 43-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Tigers. 4:45 to go. Do they have a game-winning drive set up? And it will be Aiden Schmidt working his way into the huddle. And Tim, their offense has been down all night, but they had some life on their last drive.
Well, they moved the ball well on 1st down is what they did on the last one, so they didn't put themselves behind the sticks and didn't get a penalty.
He'll roll out to the right on the run. Short throw, catch made, and scampering out of bounds is Braxton Prosser at midfield. And they'll mark him just a yard shy of the 1st down at the 48. Both teams with all 3 timeouts. Plenty of time with 4:39 to go. Galion trailing 13-7.
And again, it just makes it easier when you have a nice play on 1st down. So now they're 2nd and 1.5, 2nd maybe and 2.
Play clock down to 5. And in motion. And to the 45, 1st down. They'll mark it forward progress here for Chambers. And Galion does indeed get the 1st down.
That's 9 first downs this half. So they had 4 in the 1st half. So obviously the offense is doing a much better job. And Coach Dick would like nothing more than probably to take about 4 minutes and 10 seconds off the clock and get it into the end zone.
1st and 10 from the 44. Schmidt rolls to the left. Has a receiver out there, just flicks it out there, caught at the 42, and then ran out of bounds. As now coach is falling down, and Braxton Prosser made the catch and got out of bounds at the 42. Just a gain of 2 there, but better than a loss, and brings up 2nd down and 8. He has taken multiple hits tonight.
They also stopped the clock. So he did get out of bounds and stopped the clock, give him a little more time. They got to make some progress here, though. They got to gain 5 or 6 yards here on 2nd down.
Chambers goes in motion. They'll fake it to him. Schmidt jukes at the line, and nothing going.
Stuffed it this time.
Eventually, you run the same play over and over, and eventually, if you got a decent defense, they're going to make a stop.
Yeah, and they did just that. Got some penetration, and they get Braxton Prosser back in the game. He's been made some plays here on these last 2 drives, and so maybe they'll try to get the ball to him or Chambers and see if their speed can get him a 1st down.
3rd and 8. Trips to the left here for Galion. Schmidt rolls to the short side of the field. Keep it, run, and no, he throws it and it's picked off.
To him.
Picked off at the 37-yard line by Vinny Brinkman.
That's a shame because he had room to run. He could have maybe got around that guy,
And Tim, he might have been across the line of scrimmage when he threw that.
I think you're right.
Because the ball's at the 42. If you look, Schmidt rolls to the right. He was close. It was right around the line of scrimmage. He could have at least gotten 3 yards there probably. And
then they have to, and this is what I learned on that, they have to take the penalty because it was a legal pass, so you can't intercept it.
Is that true?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It happened in Ohio State game last year.
Huh.
So at least in college, that's a rule. So Galion going to have to use all 3 of their timeouts right away, I think.
3:20 to go. And it will be Evers off the left side this time. Gets to the 40. And the clock will stop at 3 minutes 15 seconds. Galion does indeed take a timeout. Let's take one as well. 13-7. Ottawa-Glandorf with the lead, trying to hang on to the lead. They lead by 6 here with 3:15 to go. You're listening to high school football on WBCO and watching on the OH Report.
First Federal Community Bank is excited to be entering its 2nd year of media sponsorship for local nonprofits.
We've partnered with Crawford County Now to offer nonprofits a podcast and a radio spot.
First Federal Community Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Ottawa-Glandorf with a 13-7 lead. They have the football. 2nd down and 5 from their own 40-yard line. Galion still with 2 timeouts. Coleman in the gun. Evers to the left of him. Coleman hands it to Evers, runs towards the right side, stays patient, gets to the 45. Did he get the 1st down? I think he did.
No, he's short. I don't know. No, they're moving the sticks.
They're moving him on just across the 45. And a 1st down for the Titans. The clock continues to roll. 3:05 left here in the game. Now you got to be, it is final. Northmore over Caldwell, 42-0. Got to be strategic now about your timeouts, Tim.
Yeah. Well, if they shut it down this time, they'll call timeout after this play, I'm sure.
Coleman in the gun. Evers to his left. Takes the snap, hands it to Evers. He'll bounce it outside, gets back to the hash mark inside to the 49, and Coach Dick does indeed take the timeout. So a 2nd down and 6. And OG, just picking up about 4 yards every carry at the moment. And you do that, and you're going to win this football game with 2:32 left. And back to the play with Galion there on that 3rd down with Aiden Schmidt rolling to the right. to the short side of the field, Tim. They had all the receivers on that left side. You'll watch it here on the replay. Just not a lot of room over there, and just really forced it. Yeah, didn't really have a good throw. Didn't set his feet, but
no, he didn't see
just
that.
not a lot of room there anyway.
And I don't think he saw that linebacker at all. But they've run the ball into the short side of the field. And they've thrown the ball into the short side quite a bit tonight with a little bit of success, but there it just didn't work out very well.
So Ottawa-Glandorf, yeah, 2nd down and 6.
Big down here. They got to stuff him.
Evers immediately to the left here of Kuhlman. He'll send Brakeman towards the left side as the power back. And he'll get through the line of scrimmage and another 1st down. Across the 45 they go to the 44. And Coach Dick is forced to take his final timeout with 2:26 left in the game. And Tim, you're good at math, but there's not a lot of time here with that 2:26 on the clock. And you know at least.
Well, they can't
stop it again.
Yeah,
we know that.
They won't be able to take a knee. They're going to have to still get another 1st down, I believe, because they'll run this play and then they get 40 seconds each time. So that's just 3 downs.
So you're looking at, after this play, it's going to go under the 2-minute mark.
No, it's going to be close.
So 3:50 about, or.
It's going to be close because you get 40 seconds times 3 is 120, so that's 2 minutes. So, yeah, it's going to be close.
Well, you look at his stats. He is a human calculator. All right. 2:26 left. 1st and 10. OG from the 44-yard line here of Galion. They will run it. With Evers, gets to the 40, continues to drag the pile to the 37. And we know for sure if they get one more 1st down, then it's over anyway, but 2:10 on the clock.
Yeah, what happens, you try to start tackling the ball and ripping the ball out, and while you're trying to rip the ball out, the guy's gaining yards.
But at this point, you have to, right? I mean,
you have no chance.
It's not like you're going to have any time.
Yeah, you have to
try to get the turnover. Winner of this will face Shelby, I would assume. And they'll bounce it to the 35. And there is Cameron Kuhlman to make the tackle with 1.5 minutes left. It'll be 4th down. But they are 4 yards from a 1st down. So interesting. Probably call a timeout here, I would assume, with the play clock running down.
Yeah, it's going to be at about.
I wouldn't risk a punt.
10 or 11.
Wouldn't risk a punt.
I'm not sure I'd punt it though.
I don't think I would. I think if you set it up and just lob it to the end zone, maybe. But you don't.
Their punter, so I think snap it back to him and just tell him to run to the sideline, and then go down.
Yeah, I would not punt it. So they called the timeout with 11 seconds left. Yeah. Last known score was Shelby 35, Elida 21.
I'm not going to get hit by the chair.
Yeah, you stand up this time, okay? We have a score update. Seneca East all over Western Reserve, 56-20.
Wow.
That may it's not official, but that may be where we go next week.
It may be a long drive.
It might be a long drive, and we may not, so we'll have to see. Yeah, bring those.
Yeah.
Bring a full tank of gas, too.
And I don't know what they're going to do here. It looks like
Shelby 49, Elida 21, so. Okay, here's the play. They lob it, fade route to the corner, incomplete.
Good move.
6 seconds.
So he threw it up in the, you throw it high in the air, let it fall incomplete, and
Maybe he could have thrown it a little higher.
Yeah.
And there is 5 seconds on the clock. So Galion will, this is it. This is the season. They have the ball at their own 38. Now, obviously, Schmidt's not going to be able to get it to the end zone, so you kind of have to lateral it and see what happens.
Yeah, we're going to see probably a few laterals. I don't know if you've practiced that ever as a high school. I know we never practiced it. I know as a high school coach, it was never practiced where we were doing a bunch of laterals. Maybe one lateral, maybe a hook and ladder, and that's it. But maybe one ladder. One lateral, but not multiple ones.
Play clock down to 2 and a timeout by OG. I'd say if you don't practice this, then, you almost feel like seeing the college football and NFL nowadays. Do they run this at the end of practice ever?
Yeah, I don't know.
Little conditioning drill for the defense, right?
Literally just a 5 on the clock. Nothing else.
Yep, just a 5. 5 seconds and what could be the end of someone's season here in the next 5 seconds, obviously.
Yeah.
Does Galion have a miracle left in them to continue their season into next week? Empty set, 5 wide. Schmidt standing at the 32. Low snap. Back to pass, steps up. Schmidt rolls out. He's going to run. He has to get rid of it. He does. Lateral. It's picked up by an offensive lineman, and that's a forward lateral to the 45. And the ball still loose, still rolling, and finally down to the 40-yard line, and that's going to end it. Ottawa-Glandorf, the number 10 seed, knocks off the number 7 seed Galion Tigers. 13-7 is your final score here tonight. And that will end the Galion Tigers season. And just not enough offense here tonight for Galion. A defensive game. Ottawa-Glandorf will move on and will face Shelby next week. And the number 1 seed will await the Ottawa-Glandorf Titans. So once again, your final score, 13-7. Ottawa-Glandorf over Galion. Stay tuned. We'll come back with the post-game show right after this.
How can I make my...
First Federal Community Bank is excited to offer the Ohio Home Buyers Plus program, and it's meant to offer an above-market interest rate to help the potential home buyer in their journey towards home ownership.
We've got great rates, especially for first-time home buyers. Here at First Federal Community Bank, we are here to make the home buying experience smooth and stress-free.
As a community bank, we're excited to offer this account to help fulfill the dream of owning a home. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Take a look at all the action from Friday Night Football right here in North Central Ohio with great analysis, highlights, coach interviews, and so much more every single Friday night right here on the OH Report.
Let's go. Friday night lights. Get hype, it's Friday night. Friday night lights. Get hype, here we go now. Friday night lights. Get hype, it's Friday night. Friday night lights. Get hype, here we go now.
And it ended up very even.
Yeah.
I mean, stat-wise, Galion has 13 first downs. OG has 12. You know, of course, these are all unofficial. But,
Yeah.
But Galion ended up running the ball for 212 yards on 42 carries. So a big change with that. So they end up averaging, 5 yards a carry. OG only ran it for 115 yards on 30 carries. So they did a good job there. The passing game, though, Galion ended up, 5 of 11 for 39 yards with a pick, and OG was 9 of 19, 140 with 2 interceptions. But, he got some first downs on third down. Coleman did, very big plays, both with his legs and throwing the ball. But again, 3 and 2, penalties. Galion had 9 for 70 yards, and OG had 10 for 75 yards. So everything is very even, stat-wise and everything else, and, with a very even game. But, OG made the plays when they needed to, and were able to pull it off.
All right. You want to go ahead and go? We're going to have a player of the game here interview alongside with the OH report. But did you want to go over the stats real quick, Tim?
Yeah, so
while they get him set up.
Those are the team stats. Individuals. As I said, Coleman ended up 9 and 19 for 140 yards, and but he also ran the ball. He was able to run the ball 8 times for 41 yards, and some big runs. To just keep drives alive, the 2 scoring drives alive. Both times he was able to make plays to keep those drives going, and they only needed 2 because both teams, I thought both teams did a good job defensively. Evers, though, did a really good job that last drive. The Galion did a pretty good job. At one point, he had 40 yards on 10 carries, but then on his last 7 carries, he gets in a really important 26 yards.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, well, gosh, that's again not just a little over 3 yards a carry, but he got 3 first downs. And so, and that was the ball game right there, and to put that drive away. And so, Galion gets the ball with 5 seconds to go, and there's not really much they were going to be able to do. Metzger caught 4 passes for 93 yards, and he did again big time third down catches, and to keep drives alive. And for Galion, who, like you said, is probably a disappointing finish for them. They were figuring with a home game, in the playoffs that they'd be able to get a win. But 2 very evenly matched teams. Aiden Schmidt, as I said, he was only 4 or 5 of 11 and with an interception, but only 39 yards. So just they weren't able to get any of those big plays in the passing game that they usually get. Where and it's not always with long passes in their It's just Chambers making some guys miss, but I thought Ottawa-Glandorf did a great job of tackling in the open field. So it ended up for them. Schmidt was also the leading ground gainer with 109 yards and 17 carries. Stuckman just couldn't really get it going. He had 33 yards on 13 carries, and so. A good year. Galion was a pretty young football team. They only had 6 seniors on the roster, and so I'm sure they're going to, go to work. And if I think they got to take 6 weeks off, they'll go to work and get it done.
All right. We'll take a quick break. We'll step aside, and then we'll come back with our player of the game, and that's coming up right here on WBCO and the OH.Report.
First Federal Community Bank is excited to be entering its second year of media sponsorship for local nonprofits.
We've partnered with Crawford County Now to offer nonprofits a podcast and a radio spot.
First Federal Community Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Here on WBCO and the OH.Report, as we have Peyton Kuhlman here for Ottawa-Glandorf. And Peyton, congratulations on a big win here tonight against Galion with that 13-7 win. Kind of a defensive game tonight, but you set the tone with a punt down to the 1-yard line. Just talk about that a little bit and how that went.
Yeah, it's I guess something new I've been doing. We've been struggling on the punt. Had a couple blocks earlier in the year, and I guess they gave me a shot and tried to do my best.
And you had that 7-yard touchdown run to start the second quarter. More of a defensive game, obviously, but instead of the passing game that got you into the end zone, that was a drive where you kind of took it over with your legs. Just kind of talk about that drive a little bit.
Yeah, I guess we were struggling on the pass game a little bit and trying to sometimes trust me with the ball running, surprisingly. And tell you what, our O-line blocked one, great job blocking on their part and just made it easy on mine.
Now talk about your defense. They were able to put you guys in positions to score. Just talk about the job they did tonight.
Yeah, they did one heck of a job. Especially stopping them on, big third downs, on 3rd and 1s, all that type of stuff, giving us the ball a good field position, and just one heck of a job tonight.
And now you move on to face Shelby and the Whippets. Don't know how much you know about them. We know a little bit about them here as they're just close by here, about 15 minutes away. 10-0 regular season, MOAC champs. They got a heck of a quarterback. You're going to probably celebrate this one for a little bit tonight and get back to work, right?
Yeah, we got a big week next week. We got to definitely get to work. Got a big game next week.
All right. Want to give a shout out to anybody into the camera there?
Ken Schreiner.
Yeah, there you go.
Dylan Siefer.
Yeah.
We need you back, buddy.
There, their head coach. So congratulations, Peyton. You're our OH.Report MVP player of the game. So congratulations to you, and good luck next week against Shelby.
Thank you.
First Federal Community Bank is excited to be entering its second year of media sponsorship for local nonprofits.
We've partnered with Crawford County Now to offer nonprofits a podcast and a radio spot.
First Federal Community Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
And here we are. There's Mr. Tim Birie from and Jared Moore of WBCO Radio as we wrap things up here on the OH.Report. We want to thank all of our viewers, listeners tonight on our simulcast, and we want to give a big shout out to everybody back at OH.Report. All of our sponsors for allowing this game to happen live and free, like Vita Home Health and Hospice. Also sponsoring this evening's football game, First Federal Community Bank, Thorough Borough Home Inspection, Scout Construction, and WBCO WQEL radio station. Tim Birie, Jared Moore, Keaton Cooper. I'm the voice you're hearing right now, and we're out of here.